Hi comrades, it's Nikazawa. In this video, I want to tell you a little bit about my creative journey and how I became the person who I am today as an artist. And while I'm telling the story, I'll be drawing one of my favorite artworks at the moment, the character from Genshin Impact Tartaglia in an Imperial Soldier uniform with medals. I really love this version of him and I really enjoy drawing characters in this kind of atmosphere. So where do I even start? I've been drawing for basically my whole life. I still remember drawing when I was a kid, sitting in the garden in the countryside during my Wings and Shaman King era. I drew everything, characters, random ideas, anything that came into my head. And of course, like every serious young artist, I went to art school, where we spent hours drawing academic studies, still lifes, and all those traditional things. And honestly, the thing I hated the most was outdoor painting, because carrying a glunt easel, chair, pens, and all of my materials around was just impossible for my little child body. It felt like I was moving a whole studio by myself. But even when I was younger, I was trying to find ways to turn my creativity into something more. I tried different things. There was a period when I made handmade accessories and brooches. There was a time when I mostly drew portraits and illustration on commission during high school. And honestly, it actually brought me pretty good money. Looking back, it's funny because I'd always thought that I never managed to monetize my creativity. But in real life, I was always finding ways to do it. I was just constantly moving from one creative direction to another. I experimented with different crafts, including epoxy art. It was interesting, but eventually I realized that this kind of production wasn't something I wanted to continue. Then came my student years. I started doing cosplay and I also slowly got into digital art. Around 2021, I got my first iPad and I started creating stickers, postcards, and even small merch for my drawings. I went to cosplay conventions and I sold my works there. Something actually sold, which was really exciting. Later, I became more focused on tattooing. I started drawing tattoo designs, experimenting with different ideas and trying by my own style in that direction. And because of that, I actually stepped away from digital art for a while. The truth is, I was always loved to the art, but I never felt like I had my own style. And I think the search for a unique, recognizable style is one of the biggest struggles for many artists. It definitely became a problem for me too. I was trying to figure out what made my art mine, and at some point, that search became a creative block. I stopped drawing. I left 2D art behind for a long time. Instead, I focused on 3D. I worked in a studio and I tried to find my place in the game industry. I created different portfolio pieces, character design, casual game art, and other products. And even though I wasn't exactly what I imagined, it helped me grow. It improved my skills, my visual library, and the way I see art. But at some point, life just happened. I stopped drawing at all. I stopped drawing, I stopped tattooing. I basically stopped creating digital illustration completely. I was working, studying, and developing in 3D. And eventually I convinced myself that maybe developing my drawing skills wasn't worth it anymore. I thought my skills weren't good enough, that I had already fallen too far behind, that maybe I just wasn't meant to do it. But then one day, I started watching art YouTubers. At first, I was just watching videos. I loved seeing people create, talk about their process, and share their art journeys. And then I thought, why not to try drawing again? So I created a new TikTok account. I created this YouTube channel that you're watching right now. And just started drawing for myself. And honestly, this time feels different. Because I finally started creating the kind of images that I used to imagine in my head. My skills finally reached to the point where I actually enjoy looking at my own work. not completely enjoy, but it's okay. And I want to share it with other people. I think it took me a really long time to understand that I shouldn't be afraid to show my creativity. Because I was, and still I am, scared of failure. Every time I upload the video, whether it's short or long, I have this fear that nobody will care, that my art won't connect with people, that I'll disappoint myself again and give up. But I'm trying to overcome this feeling, because living with this fear forever is exhausting, and honestly I think my art journey is only starting now. I want to continue this path and I want you to be part of this. While I was telling my story, I finally reached my favorite part of the drawing, the rendering. Right now I'm painting all gemstones and little details. It's honestly one of my favorite parts of the whole process. I know a lot of artists don't enjoy rendering, but I actually find it really relaxing. I could spend hours painting tiny reflections, jewelry, fabrics, and all those little details. I think that's one of the reasons I enjoy drawing so much now. I don't feel like I have to rush anymore. I can simply enjoy the process, and that's something I wasn't able to do for a long time. If you would like to see a tutorial on how I paint gems like this, let me know in the comments. I would be happy to make one, because it's actually much easier than it looks. I also really love this artwork because it's atmosphere. I wanted it to feel dramatic, with rich lighting and lots of small details that make you want to keep looking at it. Looking back, it's funny how much has changed. There was a time when I thought I had completely lost my passion for drawing, and now I'm already planning my next illustration before I even finish this one. I would love to know what you think about both of the artworks and this video. And if you are an artist too, I would love to hear your own story in the comments. I really believe every artist has a unique journey, and I would love for us to share ours with each other. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.